and now he's living it up in a villa in the south of France, immune to the rot he planted in the business he'd been responsible for. It's Susan who faces the carnage now, who tries to make this a dignified ending for their former employees. She isn't the cause, but she's the face of the failure, and their resentment creeps towards her like a chilly mist. It wraps around her, and she shivers. The sommelier is the first to sense that there's nothing more to be said, and he turns without a word, heading for the door. The others take their cue and follow. In 5 minutes, Susan is left alone. The stillness of the place. She's never been here when it's been empty. There have always been people in Elliot's, loads of people. In the dining room, those who enjoyed looking down on their fellow man fought over tables on the grand mezzanine. In the kitchen, ambitious and talented comers pursued careers, knowing the cachet of the name would carry them far. "Oh, you trained at Elliot's? Well, let's see what we can do." They filled the place up with their clatter and their chatter. But then, just like that, they were gone. A recession makes you think twice about paying more than £200 a head for dinner, especially when what arrives on the plate is not at all what you expected. Susan douses the lights room by room. Farewell gleaming kitchen with your mirror-shine stainless steel tables and massive ovens, now unnaturally still and cold. Goodbye dining room the size of countless big business deals, budding romances and damaging affairs. So long bar, where dozens of bankers gathered as the hammer came down, wondering if their employer or they themselves would go next. Praying they were too big to fail. But is anyone really too big to fail? Once upon a time they'd thought Elliot's was safe, nestled in its reputational cocoon. But it doesn't take much to ruin a great thing, does it? She pauses, taking one last look at the darkened dining room. "I'm sorry, Grandad," Susan thinks, as with a sigh she locks the door and turns her back on Regent Street forever. She walks home, avoiding the rush-hour tube. People squeeze like sausage meat into a subterranean metal casing. She won't miss that. There is no underground in Edinburgh. And it's a small city. You can walk just about anywhere. That suits her down to the ground. She prefers walking. Her father, on the other hand... "I'm not selling the Aston Martin," he informed her as she laid out the drastic plan necessary to save them from bankruptcy. "Dad, we need to cut back," she insisted, not for the first time. With each repetition, it became harder to keep her voice even. "We've talked about this. No unnecessary expenses." "A car is not unnecessary. How am I supposed to get around?" Susan hadn't even bothered bringing up public transport. The mere notion probably would have killed him on the spot. At last, Kay intervened. "All right, Bernard, if it means that much to keep the Aston, but Julia's car will have to go." Julia gaped at her aunt. "That's not fair!" she screeched. Bernard reached over and patted Julia's hand. Now, Julia, sacrifices must be made." He listens to Kay because she's famous and beautiful. Susan is neither, and so is ignored. She'd almost given up asking to take some role in the business, having been rebuffed so many times, but after Sozzy left, she and Kay joined forces. "Just think, Bernard, what a burden running the restaurant will be," Kay coaxed. 18-hour days, all those decisions to make, you'll get worry lines. Bernard's hand fluttered to his forehead in alarm. "Susan's perfect for the job," Kay continued. "She's had years of management experience, and it was always the plan for her to take on the business. Let her take this load off your shoulders, Bernard. You've earned a good rest." All the skills that won Kay 2 BAFTAs and 4 London Evening Standard Theatre Awards had gone into that little speech, and it worked. Bernard beamed, agreed that the business was a terrible burden, and all right then, Susan could have it. Kay shot Susan a triumphant look over her brother-in-law's head, and later, as they all said goodnight, hugged her tightly and whispered, "Make your mother proud, my dear." And now they're going north, where Susan will run the only Napier restaurant, still holding its head.